Okay, I've I've been putting this off long enough. So I would like to talk about the tooltips in this game because I really don't like the tooltips in this game, and I'm going to show you what just happened to me. Here's rights to the nobility. Locks rights to the nobility law. Well, I want to see what rights to the nobility law means. So I move my mouse to mouse over it, and there we go. Rights to the nobility, no active policy. It has these options. Mouse up. First thing, there's this like tendency of the system to have just an infinite chain of tooltips that are the same tooltip. It's, it's, I'm really mad about this. Tail the nobility. These are the things it does. These are the things this does. These are the things this does. This is an example of a good tooltip, right? It's a tooltip that says here's all of the things that matter for this tooltip. So whoever made this tooltip, fantastic job. The rest of this video isn't about you. So, okay, it just happened. So, I have my mouse on this right here. Now, we've locked in the tooltip, so I should be able to move my mouse up to highlight the other important things in this tooltip. But when I move my mouse up and to the right, my mouse has moved over something else, which also generates a tooltip. And so immediately it closes the tooltip that I intended to look at to bring me the tooltip for the tech here. And if you start this close enough, the N of nobility underneath my mouse is between my mouse and the tooltip that I just opened. And so I'm reliably getting right. I'm reliably. You see the problem here? You see the problem here? This shouldn't happen. This should not happen. This is issue number one. Is very frequently I want to look at a tooltip, and the game tells me, "Oh, you want to look at this other tooltip right now." It's very frustrating. That's the main issue right now. Okay. So where's a good way to find it? Okay, here we go. So in a normal environment, which is going to be right, I'm annexing a subject, and I see, oh, my cultural influence versus their cultural tradition. What's my cultural influence? What's impacting that? Why is this result 50%? Well, I mouse over my cultural influence, and it says this is the attack power of a culture. Cool. You've not actually told me what cultural influence is. You've you've just told me a summary of its effects. And by the way, if you mouse over the 50%, you get nothing. We're going to come back to that. Now, it just so happens that the first place I thought to check for this tooltip is up here on the left. And here you see this is your cultural influence. It's got a number, it changes monthly. Now, you'll notice this number doesn't tell you what cultural influence it does either. It just tells you how and why it's changing. Now, I can't remember right this second the place where I most commonly encounter the cultural influence issue, but there's a cultural influence tooltip which just says this is the cultural influence. You have to mouse over that cultural influence tooltip to get this tooltip. There's an intermediate tooltip in a place that's common to select think, oh, wait, which one is cultural influence and which one is cultural tradition. And I wish I could remember that right now, but we can't, and so we're gonna move on. So what else has been really getting me? Ah, perfect. Here we go. Levies. I have 65,690 levies. Cool. Awesome. I would like to know where that number is coming from. So I mouse over this number and I see, oh, a total of this number of levies with look at this, blah, 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 population, right? We're explaining what clicking this button is going to do to you. Okay, but I still want to find out this. So, right, maybe you mouse over the number. No, there's no tooltip mousing over the number. Okay, well, the word army levies, this just explains what army levies are. This is just a tooltip for Ajmer. Area. This red number, nope. Okay. Well, maybe if I click the levies menu and oh yeah, I can't. No, this 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 doesn't do anything. I can't see the information I came here to see. Okay, well, I know levies are associated with provinces, so maybe I can come to this province and okay, well it's not here. Maybe it's in the military tab and here we go. Army levies. Dundalk. Okay, well that's the entire province, not just this location. I'm going to say those backwards. Generally, I mean location when I say province. So you see here, it's like okay, so we're getting a footman levy, 292 soldiers, male knights. Yep. Yeah. So here we go. This actually is the information I wanted to get. You'll notice the first place I went to look for this information, it was not there. This information exists. It's just not where you expect to find it. Right? Now here's information that doesn't exist. And this is something that I really upset about. So I go to the diplomacy screen and I see, oh, I have a slightly disloyal vassal. And one of the factors contributing to his disloyalty is the country strength of all Mantha countries versus Overlord. It's at minus 1.96. Well, will the game tell me where that number is coming from? No. The game will not tell me where this number is coming from. So over Overlord, an Overlord is a country that has any number of subjects as its word. It's cool. This is just a definition of a word tooltip. It's not important right now. Country is a political energy. Yep, same thing. It's an important. It's a tooltip that is not important in this context. Country strength. This is an estimate of the power of a country. This is one of those absolutely worthless tooltips. Okay? These two words have a meaning. You tell me what defines this in numbers. Because You don't tell me what my military strength, income, and population do to this mysterious value. Okay? There is no way to find out where this negative 1.96 is coming from or how to impact it. Hang on. Maybe we right we put this thing in here, right? I don't use this as frequently as I should when I have a question, but right, let's country strength. Oh, this is just that one helpful tip. Oh, by the way, while we're here, cultural influence. This is the attack power of a culture, the context of culture. So, by the way, see this tooltip, this tooltip actually has the decency to use the numbers to tell me what the numbers mean. Even go over Ajmer and see, oh, I'm getting my influence from library and university. Awesome. This is a good tooltip chain. You can't get there from here. I can't see what my cultural influence is from a tooltip that is the words cultural influence. In order to find that information, I have to come to the society window, society panel, sorry, the culture tab, then mouse over this specific instance of the two words cultural influence in order to get this chain of information that tells me what I want to do. And God forbid that while trying to go to this tooltip on the right, the local cultural influence, that I happen to scroll over Ramsenboard, right? And God forbid that I do that and go to where the window is and it closes the whole tooltip. Do you see how all of these things just coagulate to become supremely frustrating? Yeah. Yeah. And just to remind you, there's a tooltip for the number on the other tooltip, but there's not a tooltip for the number on this tooltip. There's not a tooltip for any of the numbers on this tooltip. Right now, some of these are self-explanatory. Provincial governors, age one. Yeah, so obviously this I'm getting this from the provincial governors tech. So for the word provincial governors, I'll get a tooltip for provincial governors. That's obvious. It works. It's fine. Mouse over my diplomatic spending. Nothing. We're not gonna. You just know you just diplomatic spending. Obviously. Ruler's diplomatic ability. Okay, well, ruler's right up there. I could mouse up to him. Let's see. Oh yeah, his diplomatic ability is 30. That's where these numbers are coming from. Those are self-explanatory. Country strength. Where do I see my country strength? Where is this? Why does this tooltip tell me nothing of value? Yep. This is quad, and the number for quad here is negative 1.96. Now, if I click up here on quad, it just so happens that there's a mystery tooltip, right? Tooltip that's only found in one place the entire game. Secret tooltip. If you have the diplomacy window open, mouse up here to the words they are insignificant compared to us, you get a little comparison of yourself versus them. And you see a lot of 0 to 0, right? Population to population, money to money, army to army. At the end, you get this. And it says country strength right here. Does that tell me anything? No, it's just that. So it just gives us a number. It says, hey, we calculate you're a 79.04 to their 5.21. Does this tell you their impact on their liberty desire? No, of course not. Why would it? You know what I mean yet? This information doesn't exist. I've checked several places for this information because this game trains you to check several places for this information because sometimes it hides it hides your levies through like look at this. This is how far I had to get. Like I thought this was the only way to get this information until I started recording this. Okay? I discovered this information also exists in the Profit Tooltip as of right this second. I'm not going to tab out, but I have like 500 hours of it. It's like somewhere between 300 and 500 hours. But the place where you would expect to see this, the Army tab, the most important tab because it has the button to summon your army. It doesn't tell you. It's just like, yeah, this is a number. Put the number here. Don't put a tooltip on the number. Why would you have a tooltip on a number? Oh, but levy recovery in this specific tooltip, yeah, we'll tell you that here. That's fine. It's random. It's random if a tooltip will tell you the information that actually matters, or if a tooltip will tell you that cultural influence is the attack power of a country. These tooltips, these tooltips have not been useful the way they should be since the day they were introduced. I believe Crusader Kings 3. I'm pretty sure they weren't an imperator. They might have been an imperator. I know I know they were in Crusader Kings 3, and I hate Crusader Kings 3 because of the tooltips in Crusader Kings 3. That game makes learning anything impossible because the tooltips will refuse to explain anything. Right? Meanwhile, like here you have where's my political power coming from? Oh, well, it's coming. There's a relationship between my population and my political power. Now, obviously, if I mouse over either of these numbers, nothing happens. Like, tell me why these numbers are what they are, okay? Because I know my political power is not just a percentage of my population. Okay, I know it's impacted by control. You don't tell me this. You don't tell the player this. I open the hint. Here's the crown power hint. Crown power does this stuff. Crown power does some cool stuff. Crown power primarily depends on privileges and recommended actions. Do some stuff. And hey, blah 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 blah. Okay. But you've not told me what it does to any of these things. Privileges, the ruler can grant privileges. Control that the owner has. Locations, roads. Here's what roads are. You don't tell me how these things impact crown power. Hey, not to mention that this fucking disaster is broken because the opposing side hasn't had power in like 70 years, and that's the entire period that I've been strong enough to fight Delhi. Not even gonna get into this mess right now. Um, it, This is what I'm here to complain about: is the tooltips. It's a gamble if a tooltip is useful. Okay, I'm also with the word granary. No, this what does mean? Granary does. Is that a thing? Is that a build a granary? Okay, cool. If I come over here and mouse over the granary here, it just tells me how it's employed. It doesn't tell me what granary does. Well, see, because you're supposed to mouse over the word granary right here, and now it will tell you what it does. Population growth is 0.49. Oh, available free land plus 0.19. Cool. Where's that modifier coming from? What is available free land? Is it something up here? Oh, that's political power. That's social classes. That's religion. That's culture. Populations is just the population map mode. I don't see free land anywhere. Is it building levels that are unused? Is it free land? Where do I see how much land is free? It's clearly some amount of land is free on available free land. It's given this for protection. You just saw that, right? I tried to click this button, overshot it slightly, and lost the whole tooltip. Yeah. Oh, and here's just a supremely useful map mode. 0.22, 0.07, like negative 0.04, and it's all the same fucking shade of green.